back to Zero Production Value Movie Reviews. I'm M Hoernke. There's a guy on the internet sitting in his house who likes to talk about movies. Thanks for watching. Today, we're discussing Annabelle Comes Home, directed by Gary Dauberman. This is the third from 2019, so last year. This is the third film in the Annabelle film franchise from the larger Conjuring Universe franchise from Blumhouse Pictures. First, fair warning, I'm not really a fan of the Annabelle series. I don't think it's a bad idea, the cursed Annabelle doll. I really like the way it was inserted into the narrative in The Conjuring, which is one of my favorite horror movies in recent memory. But the standalone movies have been less than spectacular, let's say. Like I said, this is the third film in the Annabelle franchise. Gary Dauberman has written Annabelle, Annabelle Creation, and The Nun, and has been rewarded with that with this project, Annabelle Comes Home, as his directorial debut. So this film starts with the Warrens, played by Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, from the Conjuring Universe fame, as they take possession of the doll. And I believe we've seen this scene before in the previous Annabelle movie. They do interestingly weird things, or not weird things, but typical horror things now, how at the end of the one they show you how it's going to connect to the next, and then you watch it. You see how they all kind of interplay and connect with each other as we're watching them. And this is interesting because not only, so we have an Annabelle creation from earlier American history when she was made. We have Annabelle, the first Annabelle movie, which was from the Warrens getting her. And this is the first time we actually see her after the Warrens have taken possession of her. They take the doll back to their quaint Connecticut home where they share with their young high school age, late teens, or no, early teens, maybe adolescent daughter. And in their house in Connecticut, they keep this room where all these cursed artifacts. We've seen hints at this room before, but this movie is where that really comes into play. And Annabelle's placed in there, encased in her little glass case, and the thing's blessed so that the spirit can't come out. But then that's really what we get of the Warrens, the elder Warrens at that point. They go away, and really this becomes a story of the daughter, played by McKenna Grace, Judy. And then she has a baby. She doesn't have very many friends, and she's kind of all on her own, which mainly it's due to her. She's nothing wrong with her, but mainly it's due to her parents and word about what they do and whether or not they're frauds or not. I don't know, a lot swirls around that, and she seems to take a lot of the, how kids can be at school, and she takes the brunt of that, and she is just basically isolated from, her social structure where she goes to school. So the Warrens leave, and they leave her in the care of a babysitter, Mary Ellen, played by Madison Iseman, who I didn't actually recognize watching this whole movie, but I should have. She's most recently known for playing Bethany in the new Jumanji films. And then she has sort of a wild friend, the one who comes around and shirks all the rules and is too cool for school, that one, played by an unknown Katie Sarife named Daniela, right? So not only those are our players, the babysitter and her friend, and then the daughter played by McKenna Grace. So, the Daniela character, she, like we said, we think she's kind of a rule breaker, and as soon as she gets there, she wants to be like, ooh, where can I stick my head into? What can I look at? What kind of creepy stuff you got hanging around here? And of course, there's the room with all the stuff in it, but it's locked. And but somehow this character manages to finagle her way into that room, and everything probably would have been fine. And to her credit too, at first we think she's just sort of a rule breaker and looking to be, that way. But we find out there's a little bit more to her motivation than just, I'm going to do what I want to do kind of attitude. So we'll give her that much credit. But the night really starts to go downhill when Daniela sees the Annabelle doll and opens the case. And they lay the groundwork for that as soon as they put her in. And it's done in such a ham-handed way so that you immediately know what happens when she opens the case. They're like, ooh, we're going to seal her in this case, and she's like a conduit and all these other things which are sort of malevolent objects but are to some degree inert. But she somehow has a power to make them all activate. So, and of course, Daniela opens the case, and once that's done, let's just say the night goes downhill from there. So all these entities and all these objects start, they've all been gathered into this room, obviously through the Warrens' exploits at demonology and demon hunting and exorcism and whatever other things that they've investigated, and they've collected these supposed possessed or haunted artifacts all in this room. And now all these artifacts are free to kind of display whatever their power they were housing was. And this obviously goes on to terrorize the three girls for the balance of the evening. So I think but ultimately it's funny because I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but if you get to the end of this movie and you look back, sure, there were a lot of maybe little frights, but nothing too crazy. But add up what is actually horrific, what actually happened at the end of the story, and you're like, for a horror movie, that was a lot less blood and guts and stuff and people dead than I actually thought there would wind up being in this horror movie. So, okay. I think ultimately what this winds up doing, though, is I don't think this was a very good movie, but if they want to expand the Conjuring Universe, which obviously Jason Blum has looked to, because what was it in Conjuring 2 where he really started placing images of they put Annabelle in Conjuring 1, they put the images of the nun, and I think there was another one, I forget what the tall, weird man was. There was another thing, I don't know if they were going to make a movie about that, but definitely the nun came to Conjuring 2. And now here you have Annabelle 3, ostensibly, and you have all these objects come complete with their own little thing and their own little story, and they can just sort of pick and choose if they want to make a movie with, something, an origin story based on one of these objects and how it came to be, and then they can have the Warren show up at the end and get the object or whatever. It just makes for more of a larger universe if they can pull it off. Unfortunately for this movie, it didn't wind up being very good. I thought it was extremely basic. I thought not much happened in it, and outside of seeing the Warrens again in the house and stuff, and like I said, the Warrens are even in it for a little bit. It's just hey, Warrens, and there's the daughter, and here's this other sort of standalone story. I don't think that there's another Annabelle movie being made. They're definitely making a third Conjuring film, though, and I don't know if this is going to somehow play into that. But ultimately, I think you can skip all the Annabelle movies, this one included. It's not very good. It's just very basic, run-of-the-mill horror movie, and actually might be a little less than basic. So for me, not my cup of tea, not a good movie. There's much better options out there. So I'm going to give Annabelle Comes Home a D. Skip it and just go watch The Conjuring again, because that is a highly superior movie. But then again, I'm somewhat critical, so who knows. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe. I hope to get more content out. As always, thank you for watching. I'm M Hoernke, and this has been Zero Production Value Movie Reviews.